Hi everyone. So to answer this question, which is is the strongest intermolecular force in each of the following, and then it gives us some structures, and on yours it won't give the Lewis structures. Okay, you have to first write Lewis structures. If it's been a while since you've written a Lewis structure, I'm leaving a link in the video description to another video. It's about 45 minutes that goes over how to draw Lewis structures. Note that on quizzes and exams, you're not going to be given the Lewis structure, so you're going to have to draw it yourself. So drawing the Lewis structure is the first step. Now, because it's a previous chapter, I'm not going to spend another 45 minutes going over the Lewis structures, and here I'm going to jump right into the intermolecular forces. So before I go through this, I do want to briefly go over what the intermolecular forces are, starting with the weakest at the top, and then working our way down to the strongest down here at the bottom. And we're only going to look at pure substances here. We're not going to look at mixtures, all right? So the weakest type of intermolecular force is called a dispersion force. And a dispersion force is an induced dipole. So when molecules collide into each other, electron clouds get banged around and stuff like that. And when they do, this causes fleeting partially negative and partially positive charges, which can induce dipoles in their neighbors, and opposites attract. And I'm not going to go over to great detail what dispersion forces are. I'm just going to remind you that they're present in all molecules, and they're stronger in larger molecules. All right, and for this course, you generally do larger by molar mass, although you may have something that's more and less spread out, which would have a stronger, and something that's more spread out would have a stronger dispersion force than something that was less spread out. For example, pentane and neopentane, if you've seen that example. All right, the next one, which are slightly stronger, are your dipole-dipole forces. And your dipole-dipole forces are present in your polar molecules. And if, again, this is all from a previous chapter, determining whether a molecule is polar or nonpolar, which you would want to review that, but I will go through the examples once we have the Lewis structures, talking about which ones are polar. So a dipole-dipole force would be stronger than a dispersion force, and of course, if a molecule has dipole-dipole forces, it also has dispersion forces because all molecules have dispersion forces. So the molecule that has dipole-dipole would also have dispersion. And the last one is your hydrogen bonding. And these are for pure substances. There's also something called ion dipole, which is for a mixture, like of salt dissolved in water. But for here, it's hydrogen bonding. This happens in three cases. One is if you have HF, hydrofluoric acid, which is a unique case because it's the only case where you have H directly bonded to an F. It can also occur if you have an N directly bonded to an H or an O directly bonded to an H. This is kind of a special form of polarity, if you will. All right, these are particularly electronegative atoms bonded to an H. The only reason that HF is a specific case is because this is the only case you're going to see where an H is directly bonded to an F. Note that if a molecule contains an O and an H and they're not connected to each other, okay, such as in formaldehyde, CH2O, then it doesn't have hydrogen bonding. So the O or the N have to be directly attached to the H, or hydrofluoric acid is the case. Again, this is the strongest intermolecular force. These molecules would also have dipole-dipole. They would also have dispersion. So note that the original question was, what is the strongest intermolecular force in each of the following? So now that we've gone over the intermolecular forces generally, now let's go through the examples. So in A, we have methane, CH4. Again, the first step is to draw the Lewis structure. Again, there's a link in the video description in order to draw the Lewis structure. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to first start by drawing the Lewis structure because on your sheet you just have that. Now you want to look for the strongest intermolecular force. If a molecule contains only carbon and hydrogen, then generally speaking, its strongest intermolecular force is dispersion. In this case, all four domains are the same, so this molecule is nonpolar. It also only contains carbon and hydrogen, so it's nonpolar. So the strongest intermolecular force here is going to be dispersion. Okay, if a molecule is nonpolar, it can't have hydrogen bonding because if it has an OH and NH or an HF, it's going to be a polar molecule. So basically, you want to check to see if the molecule is polar. If the molecule is nonpolar, then the strongest intermolecular force will be the dispersion force. All right, the next one is CH2S. Again, you want to first draw the Lewis structure. Now, if we look, when we're looking for polar molecules, we're looking for the central atom, and we want to see if all domains are the same. Remember that domains are atoms and lone pairs. So in this case, 2 of the domains are hydrogen, and 1 of the domains is sulfur. So not all domains are the same. Therefore, this molecule is polar. Again, in chapter 7, there is a review of how to determine whether a molecule is polar or nonpolar. So since this one is permanently polar, the strongest intermolecular force here for CHS2 is dipole-dipole forces. So here we have CBr4. Again, the Lewis structure is already drawn for us. So if we look here, all the domains are bromine. All the domains are the same. Therefore, this one is non-polar. Again, you can review that in chapter 7. So this one is non-polar. Therefore, the strongest intermolecular force is going to be your dispersion force. All right, letter D is water. So if we look at the domains for water, we have 2 lone pair domains and 2 hydrogen domains. Not all the domains are the same. So this one is going to be polar. So you might think that it's dipole-dipole, but if we take a look here, this has an O directly bonded to an H. So since it has an O directly bonded to an H, the strongest intermolecular force here is hydrogen bonding. And if you've taken a biology class, you may already know that water has hydrogen bonding. All right, the next one is NO2F. And NO2F is a quite difficult Lewis structure to draw because it does have these 2 formal charges because of the fact that you can't have 5 bonded nitrogen, so you can't bring those electrons down in there. So this is a good one for drawing the Lewis structure. But if we look at terms of just once we have the Lewis structure, now we need to determine if it's polar or nonpolar. So we look with nitrogen. There's 2 oxygen domains because of resonance. They're the same. So there's 2 oxygens and 1 fluorine. Not all domains are the same, so therefore this one is polar, and the strongest intermolecular force is going to be dipole-dipole. We don't have any NH or OH, so it's going to be the dipole-dipole force. All right, we've got CS2, carbon disulfide. Both domains are the same, therefore this one is non-polar. And the strongest intermolecular force in this non-polar molecule is going to be dispersion because it doesn't have that permanent dipole-dipole force. So the dispersion force is the strongest one. So essentially what we're doing here is we're determining whether the molecule is polar or nonpolar, and we're looking for an OH or an NH. So the next one we have is formaldehyde. Formaldehyde has 3 domains, 2 hydrogens and an oxygen. They're not all the same, so this one is polar. Note that although this molecule contains an O and an H, they're not directly attached to each other. So hydrogen bonding is not an option. In this case, it's going to be dipole-dipole as your strongest intermolecular force because the O and the H are not attached to one another. XTF2 is a hard one. All right, so this is the best Lewis structure of XEF2. Again, remember there's a video for drawing the Lewis structures. I believe this one's covered, but it might be XEF4 that's on there in that video. So if we look here, if we look with respect to XE, there are 1, 2, 3 lone pair domains and 2 fluorine domains. Not all the domains are the same, so we might think that this is polar. However, this is linear. It's 5 domains, Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 atoms and lone pairs are domains, and 3 of the 5 domains are lone pairs. That makes this linear. Said another way, this F and this F are directly opposite of each other. So this F is more electronegative than this Xe, so it's pulling electron density in this direction. But so is this F. So this F is pulling it in this direction. And what you end up with is these cancel out by vector addition. So this one's pulling with the same force in this direction, and this one's pulling with the same force in exactly the opposite direction. So essentially, this F is pulling against this F. At the end of the day, this is non-polar. So this is an exception where all the domains are not the same, lone pairs and atoms, but it's still non-polar. All right, XEF4, which is square planar, is another molecular geometry square planar, is another example of an exception because they just happen to cancel each other out. So in this case, this one is going to be dispersion as the strongest intermolecular force, even though it looks like it should be polar because not all domains are the same. All right, HCN, hydrogen cyanide, nasty compound, okay? In this case, we have both an H and an N, but they're not attached to each other, so hydrogen bonding is not an option. Because it does have an N and an H, it could be, but they're not directly attached, so it's not hydrogen bonding. So let's take a look at whether it's polar or nonpolar. Well, if we look at C, one domain is an H, the other domain is the N. These are not the same. That's going to make this polar. Because it's polar, the strongest intermolecular force in HCN is your dipole-dipole forces. And finally, we have PBr3. So if we look with respect to phosphorus, the central atom, we have one lone pair domain and 3 bromine domains. Not all domains are the same, so this one is going to be polar. Because it is polar, the strongest intermolecular force is your dipole-dipole force. So again, if you're not real familiar with how to draw the Lewis structures, I strongly recommend you look at the video in the description linked in the description of this video. And if you're not super familiar with polar and nonpolar, there is a video on this in chapter 7.